Well, the Israeli military is acknowledging, quote, professional failures in the incident that led to the killing of 15 paramedics and emergency responders last month at the hands of Israeli troops. The Israeli military is blaming a, quote, operational misunderstanding for the decision to open fire on this convoy of ambulances and a fire truck. The military concluded its investigation into this incident by dismissing the deputy commander of the Golani Reconnaissance Battalion. This is the field commander who actually gave the order to open fire and was the first to open fire on these ambulances and this fire truck. The military also issued a letter of reprimand to the commanding officer of the 14th Brigade, which was also involved in this attack. The military said that it, quote, regrets the harm caused to uninvolved civilians. But the Israeli military also stopped short of criticizing the decision-making of the soldiers on the ground who opened fire, saying that they opened fire because they felt an immediate and tangible threat. That's despite the fact that these ambulances were clearly marked, that they had their emergency signals on, headlights on, and no weapons were found in any of these vehicles. All of these individuals were in fact wearing their uniforms, whether as paramedics or as civil defense first responders. The Israeli military also praised the officer that it dismissed as a, quote, highly respected officer whose story, they say, reflects the, quote, spirit of combat volunteerism and great dedication. I also was in a briefing with the Major General Yoav Har-Even, who oversaw this investigation, and he also told me that he believes that commander who ordered troops to open fire, quote, acted reasonably. And he said that there was no evidence in his view of any unethical or immoral conduct by the forces, repeatedly calling it a mistake, and that is what he seemed to focus on, this idea that they opened fire based off of something that they felt, preconceived notions that ultimately turned out to be false, but he did not fault them in the end for the decision to open fire. He said that he is not recommending any changes to the IDF's rules of engagement or its combat policies in order to prevent another incident like this from happening again. I was also able to see aerial surveillance video from the Israeli military of this incident. They showed this video to us, but they have declined to release it publicly. This also shows that in addition to the attack on a first ambulance and then that convoy of ambulances and a fire truck, several minutes later, a United Nations vehicle actually drives by. And in this video, you see this vehicle drive by quite slowly as it passes the vehicles that had been fired upon. Several Israeli soldiers standing behind that UN vehicle then opened fire. The Israeli military has said that that part of the incident was indeed a breach of the Israeli military's rules of engagement, and the UN worker who was in that vehicle was indeed the 15th fatality resulting from this incident. Now, the findings of this Israeli military internal investigation have now been sent to the military's Advocate General. It will be up to that office to decide whether to file any charges. It's not clear whether or not that will happen. Jeremy Diamond, CNN, Tel Aviv.